Hi guys, happy Saturday. In the interest of transparency, this is a take two. This is not an original, this is a take two because ironically, usually my game noises are too loud. In this instance, the game noise was too quiet and it was a key thing. And I've got to do this quickly. It's going to be a quick video. Definitely a catchphrase now, because I've got stuff to do today and I don't even have time to do this double take, but I want to get it uploaded. So this is genuinely going to be a quick video. First take was 30 minutes. This one is going to need to be 15. Let's do it. Okay. So what am I doing? Unreal Tournament 2004. Back in the day, I created a level based on a Laser Quest arena. So it was Laser Quest Tunbridge Wells that I used to frequent. And I was really addicted to Laser Quest, and so the Laser Quest arena, I played that back in the 90s. I was selling my Super Nintendo games just to go again. I was in the league, I was 6th position in the Premier Division, not because of my skill, but just because of how much money I spent there. As a member, I would go in and wreck kids' birthday parties just to go and get some extra points for the league. I kid you not. So yeah, it's a place that I went to a lot, but it closed down. It closed down soon after. I even went there on Christmas Day once, by the way, with my brother. But anyway, so it closed down. Laser Quest does still exist in, so I just noticed my headphones are unplugged, which they're going to need to be plugged in. Laser Quest, I think, does still exist in Guildford. So if you're in England, highly recommend going to your closest Laser Quest and giving it a go, but keep in mind the equipment is a bit old now. In Australia, especially in Western Australia, there's a place called Darklight in Joondalup. I'll double check, make sure it does still exist, because my kids seem to think it's either changed hands or maybe closed down. I hope it hasn't, because it's the biggest laser tag arena in the Southern Hemisphere, not including outdoor laser skirmish and stuff like that. And the place is phenomenal. Well, it was phenomenal. Hopefully it is still there. Anyway, Unreal Tournament 2004. I see a lot of people, a lot of YouTuber retro games collectors spout, yes, I've got the Editor's Choice Edition, and that's all they say about it, and they don't really mention anything about it. There are some extra weapons, there's some extra vehicles and stuff like that, because don't forget, Unreal Tournament 2004 was the first one where they brought vehicular warfare in, and some really good game modes to do that. So there's some extra vehicles that you get in this that you don't get in the standard version. But for me, the main reason was I'd been interested in using Unreal Ed since the inception of Unreal, and the main reason for getting this, and I'm surprised I've heard no other commentator, including some really well-known ones, mention this, but on the second disc, you get a heap of tutorials, both written and video tutorials. Keeping in mind, this came out when not everybody had a fast internet connection, and there certainly wasn't a lot of information on YouTube or other sites of how to use the editor in games like this. And it is such a good editor. And so there's video tutorials from the developers on how to use the Unreal editor on this disc. And that's why I bought it. That's the primary reason that I bought this. As soon as I found out, I went to the shop and it had to be Unreal Tournament 2004, had to be Editor's Choice Edition. Otherwise I wouldn't get those video tutorials. So that's what we'll be using today. What are we going to look at? Let me quickly show you. We are going to look at this. Now, I'm quickly showing you the planning steps that I went to. So keeping in mind, that place shut down late 90s. I didn't get into editing a Unreal Tournament map until I got this, and I'd moved to Australia. I certainly didn't have access to the physical place. So this was all from memory. So a lot of it is as accurate as I believe is possible, just going from memory without actually having the actual measurements to hand, because I played here so often, it is ingrained. I only did the play area. I didn't do the outside of the store or any of that, because it was to replicate playing a game of laser tag. That's what I wanted to achieve. Some of the assets, in all honesty, are, well, there was some walls there roughly, so I'll put some walls in, and I know some of them had a grate you could shoot through, so I'll incorporate that where I think it was. But in all honesty, those aren't 100%. But look at this. I hate maths. Look at all the numbers. I was doing Unreal, so UU are Unreal units. I was working out where stuff should be, what size corridors should be to appear realistic. And look up in that top left-hand corner. What the heck was I doing? I seriously can't fathom, but for some reason, working out some square roots was really important to me at some point. And there I go. I don't do math through choice. I tend to avoid doing maths even when I have to. When I'm meant to be doing maths, but that's what Excel spreadsheet formulas are for. They can do maths for me, but no, here I am happily doing it by hand, and off I go. Sorry, the cat's outside the window meowing his head off. I'll let you in a minute. It's going to be a quick video, I promise. So there we go. So I just wanted to let you in on that sort of behind the scenes, to how much I was done, and let's have a quick look at what it actually looks like, which it isn't letting me do. One of these keyboards. So just some quick, pre-rendered cameras. Little things like this was the grate. I've even included, I knew where the dry ice was pumped out from, so that's included in the map with a particle emitter and a sound effect to boot. The way lighting is done in Unreal, Ed, unlike when you look at my Duke build ones where you have to sort of fake some of the lighting by changing the lighting dynamics of different sectors and subsectors. In Unreal Edge, you basically position your light sources and then it bakes the texture. So you set the wall textures and you sort of set the amount of ambient light and stuff like that, but based on your points of light, it will actually then create it will actually rebake the texture with the light and shadow sort of applied to it. So that's how that works. Okay, let's get into it, because it's got to be quick. So what I'm going to do a quick play. I'm just going to do a quick play with the bots in play. And then I'll kill all the bots just so I can give you a quick tour around the map and just explain what it is. But seriously, this this map is just, it's like, oh, this is nostalgia about nostalgia, because I created this around 2004 so that I could visit a place from the 90s virtually, because I missed it. I missed Laser Quest, and I missed the friends that I played with back then, that I went to college with. James, Ben, Dan, Lynn. What was James's girlfriend's name? Forgotten a couple of the girls' names. But anyway, heaps of us. We just skip college and just go to Laser Quest, because that's what you do. Right, so important thing here. Instant action first and foremost. It's a deathmatch map. It does allow for team deathmatch as well. Have a look at that. I even included a full description about what this was based on. But I've also done a Laser Quest Extreme. Okay, so the difference between the two is Laser Quest TW, so Laser Quest Tunbridge Wells, has blocking volumes in place so that you can't go jumping off the central tower, can't go jumping over some of the walls and stuff like that. You literally, I've tried to make it so that you're forced to play it realistically as a human. Laser Quest Extreme, all those blocking volumes are taken away so that you can play it like an Unreal Tournament character. And so that one has weapon pickups and health pickups and all of that. But if you want to play, this was created so that I could revisit as realistic as I could get, game of Laser Quest in a Laser Quest arena that I knew well. So the way I play it is this, and it's suggested in the description there. Select Laser Quest Tunbridge Wells, go to mutators and add instant jib and no adrenaline, because then you're forced to use a laser weapon, and then that's it. There was a mutator that was around at the time, and I wanted to do some work on improving it, but I'm really not that good at coding, which tried to mimic laser tag gameplay, because of course insta-jib, people still explode. That tends to not happen in real life in a game of laser tag. They also then respawn somewhere completely different. Again, doesn't really happen in real life. So it's as close as we can get without having a custom mutator. Right, let's get into it. Game volume's going to go up quite a bit here, but that's okay. What I'll do is I'll do a quick game, and then I'll kill the bots, and then I'll walk you around. And you'll see how bad I am as well these days. Suck on this. Oh, no, okay. I was the one that sucked. Okay, up the tower. Yeah. Oh, got right next to him. Oh. Is that my first kill? Yes, I am a loser. Oh, somebody on the tower. Oh, somebody took him out. Everybody wants the tower. Oh. It's getting the timings of that right. Where am I? There we go. I'm in the tower. Okay. Got grids I can shoot through. Oh. Anybody behind me? No. You have to watch that section. Oh. Oh. Timing of the shots. Okay, so you get the idea of what play is like, and because this was designed as a laser tag arena, well, obviously by default it works quite well as a deathmatch arena because it's the same thing, really. Right, let's kill the bots. Right, and I'll give you a very quick tour of the map because time is short. So, from the entry point, so I'm just going to go down here, so excuse that. That's where the dry ice would have come in. There would have been a doorway here to come in from the suiting up room. Vent, which is where the dry ice came from. This is why I've had to turn the game volume up. Listen to the footsteps. This was an industrial concrete floor. Details like this, and I'm just going to make sure this is definitely loud enough in the OBS Studio because this is why I've had to do a second take because it wasn't loud enough and I want to get this uploading today. Okay, so hopefully you're hearing that. And then when you get onto the ramps, which are of course made of wood, so I even bothered going to that kind of detail, okay? So you had a ramp here, these are sort of placed roughly, these obstacles in the middle, but these I distinctly remember, you had grates you could shoot through there and here, so that's all included. Another ramp there. This weird octagonal thing with a disco ball. We would stand there shooting the disco ball hoping that the lasers would be refracting and hitting people. It didn't work. But yeah, sort of thing you try. This room was referred to as the whale room. I think I like calling it the alien room because it felt like something from the movie Aliens. But they were just sort of paper mache rib cages that you could hide between. There was no asset that matched in Unreal Ed, so I just sort of had to roughly model something similar. So that's what that is. And other than that, there were things like paper mache trees. I distinctly remember there was one in the middle there, so that kind of stuff I've just used preset assets. So that's the outside of the arena. You could go through. This is under the front of the tower, and there's a grate that you could shoot people up if they were sniping people from the tower there. And then that went through to this side here. Then underneath the tower, the back room of the tower, and there was a dead end there. I distinctly remember hiding in that place there. And there was this grate you could shoot people in the back room of the tower there. And then up the back ramp of the tower. Now, before we go up the back ramp, I want to tell you a quick laser tag story. I think it was pretty much the first game I went to. It was a team deathmatch. All your lights go out, but I knew who was on what team. All the lights went out on the packs, so I followed the other team members up this ramp, and they're looking at me going, "What team are you?" And I'm green. Like, green, definitely green. And they go, "Okay, yep, no worries." So I just sat in the corner here, pretending I was waiting to be part of their team. And then as soon as the packs came up, obviously I wasn't green, I was red, and I shot them all in the back. Good fun. So let's go up the tower. Now the tower was a great focal point of this map because if you took the tower, and you get people shooting from here, from here, from here to try and keep the tower, because if you took the tower, it was a great sniping point, as you can imagine. You can shoot people down there, you can snipe from the back here. So it was a really important place to try and keep, especially in team games. And the front of the tower here, you can shoot down there, obviously, and you can shoot over the front here. So, yep. And as you can see, these blocking volumes, even if I double jump, you can't unrealistically break out of the map. So again, listening to the sound effects, wood. Let's go over the grate. So I made sure that kind of thing was incorporated because playing it as a laser tag arena, you would get used to the map. If I was sniping out the front here and then I heard wood footsteps coming from around the corner here, then I know there's people coming up the tower. If I'm sniping here and I can hear people coming up the footsteps here, you'd hear the footsteps. So that kind of, I wanted to make sure that kind of element was included in a playable map of the arena as well. Improvements, there's lots of improvements that need doing. So there we go. Take 2 was quicker than take 1, but it needed to be 15 minutes. There we go. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed that. So let's look at a map that I've done. I'm not going to do an improvement of this map, and I'm certainly not going to do a series on, let's see what I can remember about Unreal Ed, but I will do one. So similar to the first one I did on Duke Build, where I could remember nothing. I haven't touched Unreal Ed. I haven't looked at any Unreal Ed videos. I will jump into it next week and just see what I can figure out, and a bit of a talk about my experience back in the day of learning Unreal Ed, and that's all we'll do. Thank you very much for watching that. Okay, cheers.